No, we have self-restraint, we are sticking to one a day, but it's so good. It feels like a proper little treat. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're starting this week off reading 3 books yet again. All 3 of these I did start earlier this month, or well, this one I started last week, and that is Kat Dunn's Dangerous Remedy. I have got to page 165, so I haven't read any more since I wrapped up last week's vlog. This is really good though. This is a historical fantasy, so it's set in France 5 years after the French Revolution, and we're following 2 main characters, Camille and Ava, and they are a part of this group that Camille put together to save innocent people that are caught in the crossfire between the revolutionists and the royalists. And they specialise in prison breaks. They get hired to break a girl out of a prison. The Duke says it's his daughter, turns out that that's a lie, and this particular girl is very unique. And we're at the point now where they've broken her out. They realise that they now have the revolutionists and the royalists after this girl. As a result, this group of 4 people are getting caught in the crossfire. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's just a fun YA book with a really good setting, and that's what's selling this for me. Otherwise, I think without the setting and that, this would feel very much like any other YA story in terms of how the characters feel. But the setting of it, the influences of this book are so good. I actually met Kat Dunn at Yelp, which is where I got this book from. She signed it for me, and she also spoke about her influences, and you can really see them in this book. So you're thinking obviously French Revolution, the film The Man in the Mask, which definitely has a big factor, especially in the first part of this book, which is super interesting, and also Frankenstein. I'm enjoying this book. It's got all the influences that I really like. I'm hoping to read more of this today. Today's going to be a very chill day, not much is going on. I do have a few videos that I want to film though, so that's going to be today, film videos and read more of this one. Then the book that I've been continuing on with all month, and that's Agatha Christie, The Tuesday Club Murders. I'm really enjoying this. This is a collection of 13 short stories with Miss Marple as our investigator, and I love it. They are so cozy. We have this group of 6 friends that are all either related to one another or just friends with one another, and they are each talking about a different mystery that they have experienced in their life, telling their friends the bare bones and seeing who can guess it right. It's so much fun. Miss Marple obviously guesses it right every single time, and it's so much fun to see their reactions to it, to see how she knows who did what happened, and the fact that she does put it down to experience every time. It's just been amazing. I am behind schedule. I did want to read 3 of these a week, and I've only read 4. So we have, what, 19 days? Basically 2 weeks left, less than 19 days. We have 2 weeks left of the month basically, and I am really intrigued to finish this, so I would love to read 5 of these. I am trying to read them just 1 per day. I did read one last night, and that one was The Bloodstained Pavement, and this was Joyce's story. Really enjoy it. I love how they build up the atmosphere. I love how they give you this mystery, and there are clues throughout the stories that Miss Marple then puts together, and everyone else, they make sense with their ideas and theories and stuff, but they're just not quite right, and it's so good. I'm really enjoying this one. It's so much fun. I said it every time, but it's just the perfect cozy murder mystery, and I feel like that's what Miss Marple books are going to be. I'm so excited to start reading a full novel of these. It's going to be so good. I'm really pleased I started off with Miss Marple. It definitely ticks that cozy murder mystery that I'm loving. So yeah, so I will be carrying on with this one this week. And then the 3rd book I'm in the middle of, but really haven't made any progress since when I first picked it up, is The Unspoken Name by A.K. Lockwood. And this is a fantasy book, but it's actually quite, what I'm going to say is heavy fantasy. I tend to read more historical set fantasy. This is literally different worlds in this book. They're connected through like this maze that you can travel to get to these different worlds. There is so much going on, so much magic and stuff. I am up to chapter 4, so I really haven't made much progress at all. And we're following Corsair, and she was raised to be a sacrifice to this god the unspoken one. She was someone who conversed with that god, who would use her as a vessel to speak about like prophecies and things like that. She then doesn't get sacrificed, like she chooses a different path because of this magician that's come along, and you're just learning a bit about him. He is kind of like a mentor trope within the fantasy bit. He's taken her under a wing, he's teaching her things, teaching her about magic as well, and you realise that he is actually on the run because he is an exile, and the person that overtook and stuff is like evil and stuff. Like it is interesting, but it's very heavy fantasy, and it's not the type of fantasy I've read in absolutely years. So it's taken quite a bit of an adjustment to get to it, and I do think that when I've got 2 books on the go for the month, I am just more drawn towards the murder mystery, the cozy murder mystery, and just having all of that. So I think what's going to happen with, if I don't start making more progress in this, it's going to roll over into next month, because I would really like to read this one because I am fascinated with it, but it's just getting a bit harder for me to get into. Like the sort of fantasy I like is things like Dangerous Remedy, where it's that historical setting, it's got influences from other things that I really like. So yeah, this Unspoken Nymph's not bad, but I can't give too many details on it because I'm still trying to get used to the world and understanding what's going on. So yeah, haven't made much progress with that one. Whether I will or not, I don't know, but this week the priorities are these 2. And after that, I still have loads of books to read because I did do a master list TBR this month for 14 different books to read from, but I do have a couple. I have the book that you guys chose for the month, which I need to tally up those votes. I literally think there's only one between them, and I still want to read Midnight Library simply because so many people are intrigued to see what I think, and also Christina from Christina Campbell Reads has read that book and really enjoyed it, so I want to see what I think. So that's another one that's definitely up there. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, we'll see. Right now I need to get on and do a load of other filming. So I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining for this week's vlog, and let's see what we get up to. Had a rather nice day yesterday. It was a bank holiday in England, and so there wasn't really much open, so I didn't actually leave the house because even big supermarkets, everything was shut down for the day. But I did have a really nice filming day and just editing and catching up on YouTube stuff and TikTok, which was really good, really productive, really pleased I've done that. I have slowed down a little bit of TikTok. I used to, when I first started it, upload every single day, and I do that just because it's a good way to get yourself growing on there and getting the content out there. But now I've been on there for what, a couple months now, coming up to. I'm now slowing down a little bit, and so I will upload maybe every other day or something like that, just to give myself time to film that content and get used to it. As much as it is quicker, it still does take that time to come up with the ideas, to film it, and then to edit it, but it is pretty quick. So yeah, but I am having fun over there. It's a good time. So that was yesterday, just filming and getting all bits sorted for on here as well. I've managed to film 3 videos for October, which is great, putting me ahead a little bit, and I did quite a bit of reading. So I read quite a bit of Dangerous Remedy yesterday, so I'm now up to part 4, chapter 8, page 283, and we've had quite a lot that's happened in this, so it's all kind of come crashing down around them. Obviously we have our 2 main characters that we're following. We have Ada, which last week I kept calling her Aya, no idea why, but we have Ada and we have Camille. These 2 girls both hold secrets of their own, as well as the 2 boys that are a part of their group as well, and obviously they've rescued this girl Ophelia. Things are just so tense. They're dealing with something that's so much more dangerous than they've ever had to deal with before, and their group, their found family is just splintering apart. There are so many things going on. Where I've left them, we have one person that is injured to the point where they could possibly die. We've got Camille and Ada, who were very much in love with each other. There's now a big rift between them because of different things that's going on. You've also got a bit of a love triangle going on with Camille, so that's definitely interesting. And then there is something going on with Al, and he just, it's very odd. He keeps taking all the newspapers. He was an aristocrat, but then things went against him, and his family's apparently in Switzerland or something, and it just, he seems so shady, so suspicious, and I think something's going to come about because of all of that. And then of course they've got to deal with the threats from the revolutionists and the royalists because of this girl Ophelia, and there's just so much going on. It's really ramped up the level of like stakes and everything, and I really am intrigued by it. I know I've said that for the characters I wasn't as invested in them. By that I mean just because they do feel so young. They are YA characters, you can definitely feel that. Doesn't mean I'm not enjoying it. I really am enjoying this, and the setting, like I'm so curious what's been going on with these science experiments that are going on. Like there's just so much, and I really am enjoying it. This does, I mean it is a YA historical fantasy, and I am enjoying it, and I'm quite surprised at that because YA fantasy is something that I have been falling out of love with, but this is just that bit different enough that I'm really enjoying it. And I am enjoying the fact that we have so many things happening at once with this found family. They've got the outside threats, they've got the inside things that are just crumbling around them, and I'm really intrigued to see how they deal with the situation and get themselves out of it. That is very enjoyable. This is definitely more of a plot driven book than a look at character studies, which is why I can say it's not going to be a new favourite. But if I am looking for that nice easy read that has that interest to grip me with a setting that is just perfection, this is a good one for it. So yeah, really pleased, and I am pleased because YA fantasy is something that I've really been struggling with, and to finally find a book that I can go, you know what, I like this YA, I'm very happy with. Okay, and then I also did read a short story from the Tuesday Club Murders. This time it was Motive vs Opportunity, and I liked this one. It was very interesting. We were given a situation where we have this person, the will has been changed, and they're just like, well, one side has the motive but no opportunity, and the other side has the opportunity but no motive. He does say, well, what do you think? And then of course, well, Miss Marple gets it right. It's not something I ever would have thought of. I had an inkling that the person who was involved with it, but not to the way it was actually like done, which I found really interesting. Sorry, I'm being really vague, but these are only like 15 pages long, so I can't give away too many details anyway. Yeah, very good. I didn't see that one coming. I'm not sure, I mean I liked it because it was entertaining and fun, but it's not something I ever would have thought about. I don't know. I feel like there wasn't as many clues dropped. There was one major red flag and I was like, that's going to come into play. What's happened there? But how it was used is not what I was expecting. But it does make it interesting, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, so I've got more of those to read. I'm going to hopefully be reading another one today. I'm loving this. I literally read it before I go to bed, and yeah, love it. Can't wait. But there we go, that's today. I would love to actually be able to finish this one. Today I've got about 120 pages left, or a bit more than that. No, a bit more than that. About 160 pages left, so I may not get this done today because I am popping out with my partner. We're going to Costco, so we'll see if I can actually get this finished, but I would really like to be able to. I'm really intrigued, and it's because it's so fast paced and there's always something happening, you just don't want to stop. Oh, also, I keep forgetting to mention, at the end of some chapters you get little skulls like this, which I really like, and on each part you get another image that's to do with it. And each time I've gone back and looked at the image, and that has been a bit of foreshadowing of what's to come, and I really enjoy it when books have that. I actually really like those little extra details in a book. I just think it really adds to it. But yeah, okay. I have chatted for long enough. I have a train to catch so I can meet my partner and we can go to Costco, and I have 9 minutes, so we gotta go. Good morning. Yesterday was a really busy day, so I did end up going to Costco with my partner, and I decided that I was going to start doing some vegetable prep because I love my vegetables. However, I am insanely terrible at actually buying them per week, especially because where I have the shelf in the fridge is a small shelf and I don't have lots of space to have loads of vegetables, so I have to buy what I want for the next like 2 or 3 days. I never have the motivation in me after work or before work to go out to the shops and stuff, and it takes ages. So instead, while we were in Costco, I did something that I haven't done before, and that was actually bulk buy a load of veg, buy a load of containers, and then start pre-prepping it all. So I spent ages, as you've seen from the video clips, chopping up all this veg. It took me ages, but I now have enough veg. You saw just 4 boxes, but each of those boxes is enough for 2 portions for me, especially because I mix it in with like rice or noodles or whatever I'm feeling like. And so it worked out that I had enough for 30 days worth of meals in doing this one lot of vegetable buying and preparation. It's such a good idea, and I'm really hoping it works, because that way all I've got to do is take out what I want from the freezer, cook it up, and then I've got the leftovers for the next day as well. It makes my life so much easier, especially because I do shift work and I am constantly being tired and struggling to go out to the shops and pick up all the things I need, whereas doing it like this, it means I can just bulk get everything ready. It just makes life so much easier. And I worked it out that with all the vegetable shopping that I did, the price of it per individual meal is about 60p, which is amazing. So I had time doing that yesterday. Went to Costco and also a Chinese supermarket as well, just to bulk buy a load of veg, and yeah, it was amazing. I'm actually really surprised at how well. Some of them, like the bigger boxes, are more mixed veg, so like courgettes, peppers, things like that. But I've also done smaller individual bags of just some spinach leaves, because I like just adding that to pasta, or just some pak choy and things like that, just so I can have some smaller bits if I don't want the massive lot of vegetable as well. I don't know why I'm going on about that, but it was just fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping it works. You're going to be seeing me pulling out boxes of bags of veg to use that I've frozen, and yeah, we'll see if it works. I mean, if it does, it saves me money and time, so that is perfect. Anyway, reading. I actually read quite a bit yesterday. So I did finish Dangerous Remedy. Was it predictable? Partly yes. Did I still enjoy the ride? Oh my gosh, yes. This was so fun. It was so chaotic. Things did just go terribly wrong, but it worked really well and I really enjoyed it, and I'm very intrigued for the next book. I loved it. I thought it was really good fun. And all the things I've already been saying, like, it's nice to have a YA fantasy that I actually really enjoyed. I do think a historical fantasy is where I'm thriving at the minute. I'm loving those, and this was just really entertaining with so much going on, with really high stakes and everything. But I just think the thing that really stood out for me was the atmosphere and the setting of this book. I think it was perfectly done. So yeah, really enjoyed this. I'm very pleased I actually read it. And then I did also read a short story from here again. So this one was, honestly I really should check this before I come on here, but I never do. From Mark of St. Peter. And this one was Miss Marple telling a situation that had happened and seeing if anyone could guess it. Nobody really did. They were just so engrossed in listening to her that they didn't really make too many guesses. And then of course Miss Marple says how she worked it all out. I think it was done really well. So yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I've been saying it about all of them. They are just perfect cozy reads. Great to read before going to bed. I've got 7 left to go, so hopefully, if I continue how I've been doing it, 1 a day, I would definitely get that done by the end of the month. And yeah, I am enjoying it. It's so much fun, and yeah, perfect. But we're finishing my Dangerous Remedy. I need to choose the next book to read, and I'm stuck between 2. So we have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Christina from Christina Campbell Reads, who I'm pretty sure I've mentioned already in this video. She loved this book. Normally, our reading preferences align really well, so I'm really intrigued to see if I enjoy it as much as she did. Then I'm also considering Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. This is a short classic. It's about 145 pages, so I'm really tempted to actually break up my reading with this, because as much as I've been reading a classic with the Tuesday Club Murders, no, I'm really feeling it just to break up all the actual novels that I've been reading. Short story collections are fantastic, but I do want a proper classic novel to read. Technically I suppose this would be a novella because it's under 200 pages, but it would just be nice to have something like that to break it all up, because I haven't yet this month, apart from the short stories. Everything else has been quite contemporary, more modern. So I'm feeling like I might take this one into work and read this one and then pick up the Midnight Library, just so I have that break between the two. I haven't decided which way round I'm going to do this. I think either way I should be able to get both of these finished this week. But today, before work, I'm really tempted to pop into Bromley, because I saw a TikTok that was somebody saying how in Primark they've got these like little mushroom ornaments for the fall time, and I was really intrigued. I actually saw it when I was down visiting my sister at the end of last week, and I was like, oh, that'd be amazing. And they did have a Primark near her, but it's the smallest Primark I've ever been in, and their home section was teeny tiny, so they didn't actually have any. And so I'm really wondering, is it that Primark don't actually do it, or is it just that Primark was so small that they wasn't there? So I'm kind of tempted to go and look in there before work just to see if they have any. Where would I put them? I don't actually know. So I might just have a little look in there, because to be honest, I have a bit of a headache today, and I was going to start editing the video for Sunday of the week I'm filming this, so the one that's already out, but I have a bit of a headache, and so I don't really want to aggravate it more before going to work, so I might just leave that till tomorrow. It's not going to take me long to edit, and then have a little wander. We'll see how I feel. Anyway, I'm rambling. I really should just get on with doing stuff. It's just this headache, man. I can't focus on anything. Like, I'm all over the place. I always am with a headache, but you probably didn't need to hear all of that, so I'm gonna go. Let me know, do you do vegetable prep, if I haven't asked that already, or like just general meal prep? Because I feel like it's such a good idea, especially when you're busy or you do shift work, or even if you had kids or something. Like, it's so much easier to have it all prepared, so then all you've got to do is just quickly like finish cooking it or heat it up or whatever, and then you're done. Anyway, okay, I'm still rambling. I'm gonna go. Good morning, or oh no, 7 minutes till 12 o'clock, so technically morning still. We have quite a big update and I need to do this fast so I can actually eat some lunch before going to work. So let's just crack on. So I last updated saying how I wanted to go to Primark to find these like wooden mushroom things I'd seen on TikTok. Yeah, they weren't there. I'm thinking that wasn't from Primark. She was showing a few different shops. Could I find that TikTok to double check? No, I could not. But to make myself feel a little bit better at the fact that I did pop into Bromley before work and couldn't find what I was looking for, even though, yes, I didn't need them, but still, I did get myself some books. I picked up The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. This is the third book in the Thursday Club Murder series, and I absolutely loved this book. I'm actually going to be buddy reading it with Christina from Christina Campbell Reads. I'll have her channel linked below. I'm so excited to read this. I've said so many times how the first book, The Thursday Murder Club, is one of my favourite cozy mysteries. I loved it. I read it earlier this year and it got me out of such a reading slump, and just I was so stressed at the time. It made me feel so happy. And then I read the second one straight afterwards and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and it's because of Christina that I even picked them up. So of course, the third book, I had to message her and ask if she wanted to do a buddy read. She said yes, so we're going to be buddy reading this in October. And I managed to find this half price in W.H. Smith, which was amazing because it's normally £20 and it's only 10. It doesn't have these stenciled edges like the Waterstones edition, but that doesn't bother me, especially because I will be changing these over into paperback if I can find them second hand. But the paperback version of this will not be out for a little while, and obviously I wanted to do that buddy read. Plus, with it being half price, they also was given a free book if you bought it, which, I'm sorry, half price and another free book? Yes please. And this one is A Shot in the Dark by Lynn Truss. I have never read any of her books. I've never heard of this, but it is another cozy murder mystery, so sign me up. I'm loving my cozy murder mysteries. As we all know, it's fast becoming one of my favourite genres to read, and this one I've got no idea what it's about. It's set in Brighton 1957. Inspector Stein rather enjoys his life as a policeman by the sea. No criminals, no crime, no stress. So it's really rather annoying when an ambitious, not to mention irritating new constable shows up to work and starts investigating a series of burglaries. It seems Brighton may be in need of a police force after all. I don't know, it seems really good, and she's got a load more books as well, so I think that's going to work really well. If I enjoy it, I've got another author to dip into. And this one, I didn't even say what the bullet mist is about, but we are following a group of 4 retired people living in a retirement home. They love to meet up every Thursday and discuss cold cases, and in the first book they get their first actual murder that happens. So of course they have to help the police to investigate, and it's hilarious, it's fun, it's really, really British dry humour, which I eat up. I loved it so much. So yeah, cannot wait to read this in October and having a new murder mystery to add. Let me know if you've read any Lynn Truss, what you think of it, because I have not, but was very happy to get it for free. Then what did I do? Oh, so when I went to work, I did actually take Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad with me. This was a really difficult read. I think difficult is really the only word I can use for this. I'll be honest, I haven't actually fully finished it. I've got like 30 pages left, but I really kind of don't want to finish it. We are following Marlowe, and he is recounting this tale of when he went to the African continent, and it's really looking at the colonisation and how despicable it is, or was, or just it was horrendous to see the way that the native people were treated, how they were honestly treated like animals, less than animals. It was disgusting to read about. It was absolutely horrible. The language that's used, I know obviously for the time that it's written and what it's portraying, but it was just so uncomfortable to read, which is the point. This should not be a comfortable read. This is a look at the horrendous atrocities that happened in our history, and that is something that quite frequently is brushed under the rug, not spoken about, not handled, and this book highlights it and puts it in your face and goes, excuse me, this happened. Absolutely horrible. I think it's important to know our history, to know the things that we are constantly brushing under that rug, but it was such a hard read. It was so difficult, and even Marlowe, like, he doesn't agree with it, he finds it disturbing, but he also goes along with it, and it's just, yeah. I don't know, I just feel like nobody was standing up for these people, nobody was like saying anything against how they were being treated, nobody was doing, and it was just, yeah, it was honestly really hard, but really important. And so I feel really conflicted about this one, because I can't say I enjoyed it, and I can't really recommend it because it is so triggering, because it is so difficult to read. Also important because it does highlight aspects of our history that just get ignored. So yeah, that was really difficult. Will I try and read those last 30 pages? I want to say yes, but also I think I need a break from it because it was just such a difficult read. But then yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I did take a little break from that. I haven't picked it up since, and I did read a short story from my short story collection from Agatha Christie, and I am loving this, as we know. So this one was actually a little bit different. So it was The Blue Geranium, and this one, Miss Marple is invited to a dinner with some friends of, I think it's her nephew. I should really double check that, but he is telling his friends about how they were doing this, where they had the group of them, that they were telling each other different stories and trying to see if they could solve these different mysteries, and how Miss Marple was the one that solved it every single time. And so they were like, are you sure you want to invite her? But okay, fine. So they invite her and they tell her this story, and of course she gets it right. It was a really interesting story. I really liked it. And this one kind of played on a woman that is very portrayed as almost like a hypochondriac in a sense, because she is very over the top about anything to do with her. She's very difficult to live with, and so they are doing something to this woman and playing on her superstitions and stuff. So yeah, it was good, it was fun. I do plan on reading another one with lunch today, which has been, we all know I'm enjoying this. Yeah. Moving on from that, we have the book that I'm currently reading, and that is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I am actually almost halfway through. I'm on page 118. There isn't any chapter numbers or anything. And this is interesting. We're following Nora, and Nora actually commit suicide, and we're following her in that moment between life and death. So she has taken a load of pills and now she has woken up in this midnight library, and it is a library of all the choices that her life could have been if she chose differently. And she has the librarian there that's talking her through it all and saying you can live out these experiences. If you're happy, you get to stay there. But if you're having a moment of doubt, a moment of disappointment, then you will come back here. And this will go on until you've decided what path you're going to take or whether death takes you. I like the concept behind this. Can I say it's a new favourite? No. It's one of those ones that I can understand why so many people do love it. Basically, the lessons that are being taught in this are do not live your life for somebody else or for someone else's happiness. Do the things that make you happy, and you are not responsible for somebody else's happiness. Like, someone else's happiness should not come at the cost of your own. You should not make yourself small to fit for somebody else. That doesn't work. Also, life is full of regrets. If you constantly think about what if, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be living the life that you have if you're constantly thinking what if. And I feel like these are really important life lessons, but for me, I'm already there. I'm already at that point in my life where I'm like, all of the decisions, all of the choices that I made me the person that I am today. And I wouldn't be where I am today without those decisions. And yes, I could have done different things. Like, for instance, I could have gone to university. But if I'd done that, I would have never met my partner. And you know what, there's been loads of things that go on, but just because I went to university doesn't mean that my life would be any better. And is my life flipping fantastic? No, I have difficulties, I have struggles, just like everybody else. I do not waste my time thinking what if or regretting those choices. Now, that wasn't easy to get to, I have to admit. If I had read this book maybe like 5-6 years ago, I would have found it so much more impactful. But because I've already gone through that thought process, it doesn't hit me as much, but I can see how important this book can be for others. But this book is very heavy on depression and on constantly wishing, like thinking what if, believing that your life would have been so much better if you'd made another decision, but you cannot know that for sure. And that's kind of what this book is about. You know, you need to live your life. I can appreciate it for that. I can also say it's a really easy read, like it's so easy to follow. I'm really enjoying that. I'm enjoying the character growth that Nora is going through. It's just a easy read. But it's not impactful to me because I've already had that realisation. It's a good book as well because it does do that realisation. So yeah, it's one of those things. At the moment I can say it's not a new favourite. It's not going to stay with me, but I am only halfway through, so we'll see how it ends. I have to admit there was one part in this where I did get a little bit like emotional, and that's to do with a cat, mainly because I have cats, and what happens in this book with the cat, I just feel like, oh, that one got me in the feels. The rest of it I've just been enjoying, and it's just been like, yeah, you know, I get that, and I can appreciate what she's going through, but the cat bit, that got to me. But yeah, it's okay. I think so far I'm with my mum on this one, where she said, you know, it was okay, it wasn't bad, it was an okay read, and I think this is my mum's copy that she picked up, pretty sure. Yeah, that she then gave to me so I could read it. I agree with her on that one. Not like Christina, obviously, who I've already mentioned, where she loved it and it's one of her favourites. I'm not quite there yet, but as I said, I'm halfway through, so you never know, it could end a bit differently. But it's also a really nice palette cleanser after reading The Heart of Darkness, which, as I said, I did find really difficult. This is a really nice palette cleanser, and honestly it is just reaffirming in that you are where you are today, and you've got to live your life and enjoy it, and there are good aspects and everything I've already said. So, but right, that's all the reading updates done. I have 1 hour before I need to leave the house for work, so I'm going to go and have some lunch. We're going to read a short story of this, and then I'm going to get my bag ready and get myself ready for work. But yeah, I'm loving this. I look forward to reading these every single day, like all the time. And I do think to myself, oh, I could read like 2 this day. But no, we have self-restraint. We are sticking to 1 a day. But it's so good. It feels like a proper little treat. So this is perfect to read over lunch with a hot drink and a cheese roll, I think. And it would just, it's so good. It's just so good. I finished The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and it was good. Was it predictable? Yes. So I guessed how this was going to end, and I guessed how it was going to end, honestly, from about a quarter of the way through. However, it was really, really heartwarming. It was lovely. I liked the ending. It just reminds you of life in general. So this is a life lesson book, I would say. As I've said, I do think if I'd read this a few years previous, I would have found this so much more impactful. But because I'm already at that point in my life where I'm acknowledging these things that the book was talking about regrets, about all the things that I've already said, I feel like it didn't impact me as much. It just kind of reaffirmed things that I already know and live by. And you know what, I can say that I'm in a privileged position to feel that way, but also it's been the case of going to counselling for months to start feeling this way, and it's not an easy process. And another thing that I really appreciated with this book is that it doesn't show this as an easy process. It shows the ups and downs that Nora goes through. It does take place over months. It's good. It's good in that respect because it does a really clear picture of how it can always be and how difficult things can be. So I do think in that respect it's really good. As I've said, I don't think this book is going to stick with me. I don't think it's going to be a new favourite, but I can appreciate it for what it is and understand why so many people do like it. It was also the perfect palette cleanser after reading Heart of Darkness and having something that was so difficult to read, to then have something that ended in such a lovely way was really good. So yeah, I have to give it credit where credit's due. This wasn't a bad book. This was quite good. I had my reservations going into it. I really didn't think I would like this, but actually I did. I liked it. That's all I needed, to be honest. I did also read a short story, and this one was another one from that same dinner party that that Miss Marple was invited to, and this time it was a different person that was also invited to the party to tell a story. So it seems like the last of these are going to be different people within that group saying different scenarios that have happened and trying to guess it. I liked this one. It was an interesting one. It was The Companion. I did enjoy it. I did think it was good. I actually did guess this one, not everything to do with it, but I did guess the main twist in it, and that kind of made me feel like, yeah, we guessed it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I really am. I've got, how many have I got left? I've got 5 left, so that means I will be finishing this in next week's vlog because we are going to be finishing up the video here. So thank you so much for watching. I feel like we've had quite a productive week, really. We finished what? Okay, technically one was a DNF, but I'm going to say we finished 3 books. So that's where we've got to. I think that for today, the emoji of the day is going to be a chess piece, if they have one. Chess is referenced quite a lot in this book, so if they have one, a chess piece. If not, then maybe a building or something. Let's go something a little bit different. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. I feel like I'm getting better at finishing these vlogs quicker, but that could also just be because I'm literally about to start a new vlog in like 20 seconds after this one. So I need to get on and start the next week's vlog for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys are all well. Once again, I know I normally say that at the start of these videos, but I do really hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching. So don't forget that emoji of the day, and if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it that thumbs up, subscribe, comment to let me know that you're here. Social media links will be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the next one.